Hey there, it's BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thank you guys very much for coming out. Why are you throwing things at me like the second that I show up on screen? Come on. Why? I hate. Why? Come on. This ain't fun. This is. I'm calling the cyber police on you. No. Anyway, how you doing, everybody? I hope everything is good. I'm tired. I'm gonna be real with you, man. Like, I've said it. I think I said it last week. I'm gonna say it again this week. I might make this a short stream. I'm not entirely sure. I'm kind of like exhausted. I've been exhausted like for a while now, for a good like couple of weeks. Mostly because I've had a heck of a lot of things just like randomly pop up, as well as like a lack of proper sleep, which is really unfortunate. Nova is blaming Dickleberg. I don't blame Dickleberg for everything, sir, madam. Or however you call yourself. Anyway, yeah, no, I got a fairly decent amount of sleep last night, but today has just been like all over the place. Oh, also, you know, I'll get into it once we dive on into the game. Why don't we? I think that's a good idea. Let me just go ahead and start up the video game, and we will go ahead and begin. There we go. There we are. Let me click on my chats here just so that I can see them a little bit clearer. Okay, I can see the YouTube chat properly. YouTube Studio just recently changed things around, so now like visually things are a little bit different. I don't like different. Change it back. No, how dare. So, where I was last, I don't know. I think I was just sort of like meandering about, upgrading all of these pens and whatnot, making money on plorts and things of that nature. You know, that's fine. Also, like, I was also thinking, like, the idea of maybe improving things and, like, you know, opening up new pens and stuff. Oh, ew, Phoenix. No. Yuck. That's weird. Yeah, I hope for your sake and for your safety, like, you know, maybe reporting that? I'm not sure what you would say. I don't know what you would, like, exactly do in that circumstance, but bleh, no. That's creepy. I don't like it. At some point, I have to actually start, like, saving these plorts and putting them away and, like, you know, a little bit of, like, a deposit area or something. Okay, you guys are filled up on food. See, I think I got a few too many of you guys. I'm making an executive decision. Some of you are leaving. Yeah. I think there was 15 in there. I'm sending 5 of you to the gulag. Goodbye. Control the population. Like how many kids go to my school, what college I plan to go to, and he was my... Yeah, no, that's definitely like, you know, a cease moment. You know, just like, stop. No more conversation. Go away. That's creepy. Danny Phantom is in Fortnite. Yeah, I knew about that. Hi, Pink. I hope you're having a very good day. All right. So, yeah, this week has been a roller coaster in a lot of different ways. First of all, more direct thing, and I don't know how many of you guys are currently dealing with stuff, but the Midwest area is absolutely being slammed by snow. And I just had to do a lot of snow shoveling, a lot of driveway clearing, and all of that jazz. Which, like, you know, that took up a good, like, chunk of my time and a lot of my energy. But then, like, you know, I basically had to, like, change around a whole bunch of my, my repertoire this week just for the sake of being able to, like, you know, not end up running into the snow situation. So, like, there was a couple of appointments I had for Tuesday, and that I was just like, let's not do those appointments, because I'm like, I don't want to commute in a situation where it might be very, very dangerous. So it's like, no. Had first snow day, but I had to do virtual school. Oh, that sucks. Because back in the day, if there was a snow day of any type for like, you know, kids of my age, it was literally just, well, I guess all y'all aren't going to school today. I don't know. Enjoy your day off. And then they tended to take that snow day and then pile it on to the end of the year. So, you know, it's like they just rescheduled the pain for a little bit later. Yep, there was no virtual school. So that kind of sucks. Like, you can't escape school. Technically speaking, like, you know, if you have a mobile device, aka you do, you could attend a virtual school via, like, your cell phone. So, you cannot escape it. You cannot get away from the horrors that is education and scholastics. I wanted to just lay in the snow with video game music and sleep. Yeah. That's not gonna happen, unfortunately. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. On one hand, I'm like, efficiency. Cleans things up. Makes things easier. On the other hand, I'm like, I don't know. I'd like to let kids be kids and like allow them the same sort of, the same sort of treats that I got when I was younger. You know what I mean? And snow days was one of those things. So, that being said, I don't have snow days as an adult. Like, you know, nowadays as an adult, basically it's just like a whole bunch of, see, it looks like you guys need a little bit more chicken, so I'm gonna grab you some for you. Nowadays, school, like, you know, like, what was I about to say? Let me put these guys down real quick. Anyway, no, nowadays, like, you have to clear your driveway, you have to get to work, otherwise you get reprimanded by your boss. So, like, you know, you don't have that kind of, like, novelty, unfortunately. So yeah, bunch of snow clearing ended up having to, happen recently. And, that sucks. To make matters worse, it looks like we have a little bit more snow that might be happening sometime pretty soon, as well as also... Hello, Remy. How's it going? Hope everything is good. Yeah, I don't... Do you get, like... Alright, so, I'm not gonna ask for, like, specific locations and all that jazz, but do you get, a heck of a lot of snow? Or, like, you know, are you in a place that, miraculously doesn't get a heck of a lot of it? Just lay in the snow and relax to the tunes of The Only Thing They Fear Is You. Standing here, I realize you were just like me. Didn't go... Oh, I did go sledding today, so that was fun. Oh, yeah, Slime Rancher. I'm playing Slime Rancher 2. The sequel. Get the bunnies. Hey, these guys. They're nice and well fed. Hello. Nom nom. Dorts! Yeah, I think I should really start considering investing some of these plorts into, you know, putting them into, like, storage so that I can use them for, you know, actually manufacturing stuff. Oh my god! Look at all the kitty plor. You can stay there for a little while, okay. Come to think of it, do I have an easy way of sending those, plorts down to my, my storage unit? I don't think I do. I think I have to, like, actually head, you know, down that direction. Where even is it, anyway? I don't even remember. Where's the staircase? I'll find it eventually, I guess. I can't English. No, that's fair. English is tough. Oh, actually, hold up. Whee! I think this way leads to my underground lair. Ha ha ha! Okay. You win. You get plorts. But all right, let's see what I can manufacture. Okay, that's the refinery. Let's see what we got here and what I need to be building. Yeah, I should probably be going for upgrades, honestly. Ooh, cotton plorts. 16 out of 10, and I have new bugs. Resource harvester adds a resonator to the vac suction mechanism that shakes loose science resources from nodes in the what the fuck. Go for it. Upgrade. All right. Neat. Heart module. I mean, that makes sense. Power core. Ooh, jetpack. Very nice. Tank booster. Extra tank. Yeah, I need more, like, tank space for sure. Ooh, tabby plurt. Improved nano storage cell technology allows your vac tank to hold 30 units of whatever you can vac up. Yes, please. Jesus, thank God. But, like, oh my God. I can hold so much more in this tank, though. An extra tank. I have school trip soon, and I get to go on a plane with the entire high school class. I never got to go on a plane in high school. What the fuck? Water tank. I need deep brine for that. Phosphor plorts and something I have not yet acquired. Need cotton plorts for that. Ooh, heart module. Sure, why the heck not? While I'm in the neighborhood. Can't do anything with that because I don't have enough cotton plorts. I'll get on that. Oh, I have a new message. Hi, Spooky. How you doing? Hope your day's good. Oh, yeah, me. Just sort of chilling on the ground. No worries. Anyway, so... yeah, snow has definitely been, like, you know, a frustration. I've had to reschedule a whole bunch of things and, you know, move a couple of things around in my calendar, and even then, like, what's funny is that, like, I moved things around in my calendar, and it required me to, like, cancel appointments, cancel stuff that I had planned, and, like, oh, all sorts of crazy shit. And then, on top of that, a whole bunch of other crazy stuff happened to me this week. Is the floor comfy? Not really. It's a shag carpet that is like, could be better. It's been there a while. I mean, I take good care of it, but it's just like, ew. I'm not a fan of shag carpeting. It's so difficult to maintain, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta frickin' vacuum that stuff, like, fairly regularly. Otherwise, it becomes musty and creepy. Alright, how y'all doing? Oh. Thank you. Anyway, so the last stream that I did was on Sunday. Now, you may remember that I was talking about some computer problems that I was having, where I complained about the fact that, once again, I started having these really weird issues with my computer, where... Actually, I've been having these issues for the past, like... So much confetti. Anyway, I've been having, like, several issues as of recently with my computer for, like, the past couple of months. And the issue is that, like, ever since I moved over to Windows 11, it's been causing this weird issue. Where I'll install Windows 11 onto the computer, and then I will load a bunch of my software onto the thing, and everything will be working perfectly fine. And then, at some point, I have to restart the machine because, you know, either there was a Windows update that happened, or maybe I just, you know, stuff's not running very fast, so I decide I need to restart the unit. And when I restart the unit, it, like, the boot up screen breaks, and it requires, like, you know, it like boot loops, and then it brings me to a restart repair page. And then it tries to connect to Windows' like servers to be like, you know, looking for a solution to your problem. Please hold, please hold. And then it never gets to that point. Like, it's just broken completely. And also, hello, Carl. How's it going? I hope everything is good. Hope it's not too cold wherever you're at. So, yeah, this has been going on. Like, it's been on and off for the past like couple of months now. It's made me end up restarting and like reinstalling Windows. I think it's got to be up to like 10 times. It's been frustrating. It's like every time I think everything is set up and ready and like working properly, all of a sudden, nope, no, it breaks again, and it requires me to go and like, you know, replace everything. Like, it got to a point where like I don't even save anything on my main computer drive anymore. It's just like all side drives because I know that eventually Windows is gonna crap itself again. It's frustrating. This game looks like 99% parkour of jumping over fences. You can definitely do that. Woo! It's fun. Quite a nice temperature. Very windy, though. Well, that's cool. It's about to be, like, wickedly frigid where I'm at in a couple of days here. And that is scary. All right. What's your guys' diet? Fruit. Okay. Well, good news. There you go, buddies. Okay. Now, who's... I think, like, carrots... Carrots go to you. So, drown! Yay. Very nice. Anyway, yeah, this has been happening on and off for like a period of about a couple of months now. And I've been trying to isolate exactly what it is. For the longest time, I was just like, I was just trying to diagnose it. I'm just like, what? Windows 11, why are you doing this? It's like, this problem never happened on Windows 10. What's the difference between Windows 10 and Windows 11 where this one particular problem is happening? I'm in the south of the UK right now, and it's supposed to be snowing everywhere but the south. Aw, that's unfortunate. I think. I don't know, I'm sick and tired of snow at this point. I don't know. Again, I've gotten sick and tired of snow. So, yeah, the other day, I think it was Sunday or Monday, my computer just went and just did it again. Same issue. Oh, earlier I decided to remake my Tunic head for a cosplay, and out of all the days I decided to paint it outside, it was windy. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, if it worked, that's great. Though wind can really mess with the finish on paint, so I don't know. Okay, let's see. How you guys doing? You could use a little bit more chicken. Anywho's, I thought everything was perfectly fine, but then again, just like all of a sudden, like my computer started having the exact same error again. And I thought to myself, okay, so what's the difference this time? What did I do at like this time where it actually survived for about a month before it started doing this again? What wasn't I doing? And that's when it hit me. I hadn't installed my Adobe software yet. Now, for those of you who do not know, I have Adobe CS6. Adobe CS6 is the last package of software that Adobe ever released before they started moving over to Adobe Creative Cloud. What Adobe Creative Cloud is their subscription service where they no longer release like individual product packages anymore. Instead, it's just pay a monthly fee and you get access to all of their software. So things like, you know, Premiere, Audition, Photoshop, etc. I hate it. I don't like that sort of marketing and pricing strategy. I much prefer to feel like I kind of own my software. And with the way that Adobe prices their stuff, it really doesn't come off like you actually own your software that way. So I don't I don't use Adobe Creative Cloud for that exact reason. So I've been stuck to Adobe CS6 for many years. This software is somewhere around 13 or 14 years old, and I have I've just been squatting on it for the longest freaking time. This is a software that came out for like Windows 7, and up to 10, it was still working perfectly fine. However, I was starting to suspect that there was something wrong with it in Windows 11 specifically. And I ran some tests, and I did conclude that yes, it looks like installing Adobe CS6 onto Windows 11 breaks stuff. And I determined after like a little bit of like trial and error, and also doing some research online, what exactly it breaks. So to go into like specific details, there is a folder on your computer. It's like the main Windows it's the main Windows folder inside of your like main C drive. And inside of there is this thing called System32. If you've ever heard that one like running gag of like, delete System32. By the way, don't delete System32. I don't even think they allow you to do that, frankly. But anyway, System32, it's a very important folder in Windows that has a heck of a lot of like the base functionality of Windows in it. And there is a folder in there called drivers. Well, oh yeah, there's a new message. I forgot about that. I'll read in a little bit. Anyway, so there's a folder in there called drivers, and what I found out is that apparently Windows 11 decided it no longer supports certain drivers anymore. And their reasoning for it is, oh, safety and security and all that jazz. Well, in the process of attempting to try and install one of those drivers that is no longer supported, I guess that just breaks the sequence of events that takes place during the installation. Now, technically, Adobe CS6 does get installed onto the computer anyways. However, in the background, it breaks like this one specific driver in the system, and like it basically like leaves this like phantom file sitting inside of the drivers that like it's corrupted and it cannot load up properly. And since it's like a very major base file within Windows, when you try and like start up Windows and it gets to that driver to try and load it up, Windows freaks the frig out and goes, uh-oh, cannot start, cancel. And so that's what made the boot looping happen. So that makes a whole lot of sense now. So the solution for it, I have found, is you install CS6 onto your computer, then you delete that driver that was not able to properly install. And if you do that, Windows works fine. He's okay. It never boot loops ever after that. You're good. And I'm glad that I figured that out, because I'm just like, I mean, first of all, apparently that driver is like not essential for the actual like functionality and runnability of of Adobe software. So it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. We'll see if sometime later maybe I'll run into a situation where like maybe there's going to be a compatibility issue later, or like something's going to start crashing in CS6. I don't know, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And then, but that's not the end of the story, unfortunately, because I discovered something else while I was in the middle of like working with stuff. I found out that after I install, I took some like I installed the Adobe software via like the CDs that they came on. Yeah, actual CDs. Who the heck remembers those? Anyway, so I installed like all like both of the discs, disc 1 and disc 2. And for some reason afterwards, if I unplug the CD player like the CD reader from my computer, if I try to plug it back into my computer, suddenly my computer cannot recognize the device. And I was like, "What? What do you mean? This was working previously just fine earlier. Why does this no longer work? This is bullshit." And so, here I can suck up about 30 now. Yay. I'm gonna sell these. Well, actually, do I want to keep them? I don't know. I don't want to have like a gigantic overstock of tabby plorts. But I also don't know how many tabby plorts I'm going to need for my, for all of my units and devices. Whee! Where's my plort unit? Bit, do you want some smoothie? I went and I had some takeout food today. I think I need to lay off on any of the snacks. Thank you for the offer, though. Now, my stomach is in a fun little area right now. So anyway, yeah, my CD player just, like, stopped functioning properly on my computer. And I was just like, what? Why? What happened? What happened? Then I discovered it wasn't just the CD player. So you have the ability to, like, run ISO files on your computer, which if you don't know what those are, it's basically the file version of like a DVD. Basically, it's the file that's supposed to be burned onto a DVD, essentially. And I figured, all right, well, let me try and install something via ISO. It couldn't even read ISOs. For some reason, when I tried to run an ISO, what it's supposed to do is run like a virtual disk drive and then run that ISO in the virtual disk drive. Apparently, Windows's compatibility and ability to run even virtual disks was broken. Like, you couldn't read disks off a CD player and you couldn't read virtual disks. Full stop. And I was like, okay, that's weird. I thought maybe there was some sort of a problem with my actual CD player, but no, I was pretty sure that there was something wrong with my file systems or something. So I looked further into that. And guess what? It ties back to the Adobe bullshit. As it turns out, while I was installing Adobe software, and when that error popped up, when it was trying to install that driver, apparently that went and kerfuffled this other portion of my computer that was involved with running, like CD-based equipment and stuff. Because I guess there's like a very specific dependency that is required in order for you to like be able to detect CDs or run disks or like whatever the heck on Windows. And I guess that system was just broken after the whole Adobe thing happened. And I didn't know that until I finally had the ability to log into my computer after one of these weird crashes. So the solution there was actually a little bit more complicated. If anybody has ever dealt with this before, actually you probably haven't, I had to go and dig into the Windows registry. And if you don't know what that is, good, you probably shouldn't have to know. The Windows registry is something you never have to touch. Ever. You leave it alone. It works perfectly fine by itself. And if you ever have register issues, you probably just need to install Windows again. Don't worry about knowing anything about the registry. Only super turbo nerds really know what they're doing in there. Heck, I don't even really know what the heck I'm doing in there. So, but I did manage to find like some like a Reddit post from people that were discussing the whole like registry issues with Adobe software. Actually, no, was it Adobe software? It was either that or like with like disk drives. And they're like, yes, go to this section of your registry, and if you find these two entries in your registry, go and delete those, and then restart your computer. And so I was like, okay, I guess I'll try that. And I did. I restarted, and CDs work fine now. So I figured it out. Oh, also, before I decided to delete those entries, I did decide to take a look at the entries to see like what was inside of them, and as it turns out, it had a direct connection back to that one stupid driver that Adobe desperately wanted to install onto my freaking computer, but failed to, because Windows 11 sucks. So all of my problems for the past like 2 or 3 months here has been Adobe, and it's annoying. Oh, Spooky is going to take off. Well, thank you very much for popping in. I appreciate it very much. So I'm just happy that apparently everything is working at... Ow, thank you very much for throwing thing at me. Anyway, I'm just happy that like everything appears to just be working just fine. You know, I've managed to sort out the problem, and now we can just get things pelted at us. We can relax and have ourselves a nice little, like... Well, I can get shit done, you know what I mean? And that makes me happy. Because I really couldn't get anything done over the course of, like, the past 2 or 3 months. Unless I was installing, like, and saving stuff to other drives aside from the main one. Which is really annoying. It's like being handed a kitchen and being like, yes, you can cook anything that you could possibly want. Except you can't run any of the tools in the kitchen itself. You have to take the toaster into the living room. You're just like, what? Why? Because if you don't, the toaster catches on fire. Wait, what? How does the toaster catch on fire if it's in the kitchen? Damned if I know, but that's what happens, so... You best be cooking in the living room. And I'm just like, well, what's the point of even having a kitchen if it's that cursed? That's been my brainstem for, like, the past, like, couple of months here. The water catches on fire. Sans, how did you burn the water? It do be like that. Anyways, I am super happy and content now. I finally feel like I actually have answers for all of my stupid problems. And we can move on to, more fun and interesting things. For example, I have a whole bunch of things planned for my 10-year anniversary. How do you do his voice perfectly? To be fair, Papyrus technically doesn't actually have a canon voice, and anybody and their dog could, like, say whatever impression they want to, that sounds whatever they want. It's just everybody collectively kind of made the decision that, like, oh, Papyrus, he sounds like Skeletor. What was that one video I just recently saw? I don't know. It was some sort of like a Sans pun. And Papyrus was looking at him like all angry and disapproving. I don't think it was this one, but it was like I remember seeing this one. It's the one where it's like, Sans, why do you look so sad? Oh, hey Paps. Sorry. It's just my favorite band broke up. I'm kind of bummed out about it. And then you look at him and he's just got a rubber band in his hand. Headcanon Papyrus with Tom Kenny's voice, specifically the one used for Rabbit in the 2011 Winnie the Pooh movie. See, God, did I ever watch the 2011 Winnie the Pooh movie? I don't think I did. Speaking of movies, though, I've discussed this on some previous streams, but I am planning on watching Muppet Family Christmas in the Discord as a special holiday treat. So I hope that you guys are excited for a lot of nostalgic excitement from me. And so I have a poll currently going on in that Discord at the moment. So if you are interested in if you're interested in being a part of that, and if you are a part of the Discord, I recommend that you head over there and enter a little bit of enter the times that you're available in the poll. I'll try to make it. Sounds fun. Okie dokie. Galactic is over in the YouTube. Howdy, how's it going? Currently just having a nice, relaxing farming simulation with slimes. Something to turn the brain off with. Because Lord knows my brain has been going like a million miles an hour as of recently. Oh, hey, before I forget, I've got a message that apparently I have not been reading. Oh, it's Victor. Hello, Beatrix. Seeing as you've taken an interest in building gadgets, I put together a little housewarming gift in support of both your pragmatic and creative endeavors. Looking forward to seeing what you build. A med station? And I have a med station. Conservatory table? What does that do? 2 of those. Chair. Chairs. Why? Anyway, you have more to say? Ah, Beatrix. I was cleaning out the lab and found this. Perhaps you have some use for it? I believe it's still in working order. You know what they say, one person's trash is another person's hastily issued gift. Enjoy! Small pinwheel. Thank you, Victor. Oh, Thora, what's Thora up to? Hiya, Bea. How's life out there on Rainbow Island? Gosh, it's even fun to say. Must be a hoot. You know, ever since I heard you were off doing something new, I got to thinking about my own life and what's the next new for me. Hobson and I have both seen and done so much in our lives, been one adventure after another across this dusty rock, and ever since we've become acquainted, we haven't slowed down one bit. So we're looking to take a new adventure together, but we just haven't figured out what or where. Maybe we go exploring some hidden nooks of the far, far range like you, or even set our sights to the stars like Hobson had done before. Whatever we decide to do, it'll be all the more special because we'll be sharing it in this time with each other. It's that part that makes it all the more exciting. It's so hard to find something in this world that fits you perfectly, such a rare thing, like finding 2 identical snowflakes in the desert. I mean, I think it technically has snowed in the desert. Like, deserts get pretty freaking cold at night. I know you feel that more than I can say. I ain't ever losing sight of just how lucky I am, Bea. I want to use the gifts the universe has seen fit to give me. You keep your head up, girl. We'll chat again soon. Aye. Okie dokie. I have new gadgets. Okay. So, open inventory. Med station? Don't I like auto heal? I'm not entirely sure. Oh, Galactic says, what were you just talking about, Bit? I just tuned in. Also, I got to Bile Water today. Ooh, okie dokie. Random question, but what is your opinion on Motown? I'll talk about that in just a second. Galactic, I was talking about how over in the Discord, I am going to be doing a little bit of a movie night thing. So we're going to be watching Muppet Family Christmas, which is a an old, like, I think straight to VHS like movie special for the Muppets that like it just lives rent free in my head, and it's basically like one of the things I think about when I think of the holidays, and like it makes me very very happy. So if anybody is interested in, like, watching that, they, people need to go and join my Discord. And also, I've got a poll currently open at the moment for just to see who is going to be available when. So far, it looks like the most people that have been voting have, like, the vote seems to be split between Tuesday of next week and Friday of next week. So it's gonna be one of those 2 days. I haven't quite 100% figured out exactly what I'm gonna do, but yeah. If anybody is interested, dive on. What's my opinion on Motown? All right, so we're talking like, you know, just like the musical style or like the music of Motown. What is this conservatory table? Is that for anything? Does it do anything? I'd like to. So hold on. Utilities. It appears it is not practical. Okay. Just a whole bunch of like tables and chairs. The music. I haven't heard Motown in a really long time. Honestly, I'm kind of like my brain is sort of skipping a beat when it comes to exactly what it is. I'm gonna make the assumption that these guys probably want me to put down the med station. All right. What would be practical play? I'm gonna put it just like right here near the entrance. Tinker. You're a gadget pro now. Discover more blueprints in the world and craft them back at the fabricator. So that's a little bit different and neat. Probably one of my favorite kinds of music after Vocaloid. Neat. Man, I think if I have to pick like a specific favorite genre of music, that's tough considering like I'm pretty non-picky when it comes to my like musical tastes. I mean, first of all, I'm not a massive music listener in general, so I can't exactly go and like pick something too concretely simply because like I don't have a heck of a stake in the medium. You know what I mean? However, if I had to choose anything, I personally think that like electro swing is freaking awesome. There is something just like super like boppy about electro swing that makes me incredibly happy. Electro swing of all types. Lightning. Okay, you guys are kind of running out of chickens. That's okay, because I have a constant chicken farm. Also, how are these guys managing to, like, give birth to chickens inside of this pen? There aren't any hens anywhere. Or, like, well, actually, all it is hens. There isn't a rooster to be seen. What the frig? Listen to a lot of traditional pop. Well, the other day we were doing a live stream when I was talking about like the top hits of the 2000s. Holy crap, that was like a nostalgia overload. Because like there are so many songs that I've either completely forgotten about or songs that are like, I don't know, like it's just stuff that I haven't heard in years and make me very happy. And I have like a weird fondness of that kind of music nowadays, like especially like the pop of my generation. There we go. Okay, so you guys are pretty much fulfilled. Same with you. Why are you like? Okay, so this is interesting. The cat. There seems to be some sort of a weird war going on here. So we've got like the phosphor guys over here that are jumping at this wall, and the kitties who are hopping over at this wall. What is this war here? Hey, what's with this? Why are you feuding? That's one thing I love about music. When you hear a song you haven't heard in ages, it brings back a certain memory or moment. Oh yeah. When I hear music of like, the 2000s, it teleports me back to a very specific point in my brain's history. For better or for worse. Cuz sometimes like, you're brought back to those times and you're like, "Oh god, no. Why am I here? This is terrible. I hate this." Other times it's just like, oh yeah, nostalgia. Maybe they want to be friends. Doubt. Heavily doubt. One of them is a bunch of bug creatures, and other ones are like, nearly feral cats. Let's go ahead and make a power core. That way I can like run a little bit longer. Can't do anything else, though. What sort of plort is going to be required for this? Ow! Blah! Anyway, I have run a heck of a lot of my money out at this point. But that is fine. I think it's money that I'm required in order to go to, like, new locations. So I should probably start taking a bunch of the plorts that I am getting from, like, the chickens and the fruits and the vegetables and stuff. And I need to start investing that in some of like the new gates. Apple for the slime. Thank you. I don't know if I can transfer that, but yeah, I appreciate it. I remember listening to a song and it brought me back to when my friends would play it on the piano when we were younger. Oh, that's freaking awesome. What's music that like... Oh, I have a new message. What's music that like, brings me back to a specific time? I think like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys kind of does that for me, where I'm just like, oh my god, 2000s. Oh, Victor is yelling at me again. Beatrix! I was cleaning out the lab and found... Jesus! I agree, the spontaneity scares me too. Blue return home portal. Sure, I'll take that. So blue return home portal, a teleporter that allows one-way travel back to the conservatory. That might be useful, like, for something later. I wonder, Back to the conservatory. Back where, though? Like, does it just drop me off right at my front stoop, or is there a specific, like, spot in the conservatory that it's just like, we'll drop you off here? Very curious. Okay, how we doing on food and stuff? Actually, let me check the plort collectors real quick. We'll get in there. Here, let me sell off a bunch of this stuff. Oh yeah. Bun, 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 bun. I think like the cotton plorts specifically are kind of the most valuable right now because I don't have a lot of bunnies. Oh boy, it's gonna be a while before I collect enough money to be able to go through one of these gates. So what do you got here? How much? Yeah, I think all of them are around 2,800, so...
Yeah, gonna be a while.
That's fine. Well, in the meantime, what else have we recently... Yippee! Thank you, Remy. Celebration! Anyway, what else have I been up to as of recently? That I could just, like, randomly talk about here. Is there anything computer-wise that's currently just sort of rattling around in my brain? I'm always the light of the party. Yeah. Okay, you guys need to eat your freaking carrots because you're wasting them. You're leaving them on the ground and they're rotting away. I feel like I need to get you guys some like brothers or something. Come to think of it, I should probably just go and do that. I'm lost. Where the heck is the main gate again? Here we go. Boing. I'll pick up some carrots, because why the heck not? There's Bun Buns. Congratulations! Welcome to slavery. Okay, I gotta figure out how to, like, get that Jellystone. They love water lettuce. Ooh, okay. Water lettuce, eh? Wonder where one finds water lettuce. At the moment, all I have is carrots. Meet your new friends! There you go. More bunnies! I'm a bunny, I should know. Okay, you guys seem content. You... How many... Here, hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got rid of a bunch of you a little bit earlier in the stream, so... I think there's... There's just few of you enough that I think you'll be able to survive on the current, like, food incomes that I got here. There we go. Oh god, I'm sleepy and this game isn't helping me. this is just like, hi, welcome to relaxing, fun little relaxing video game. I'm gonna take these elder roostros and hens and give them to these guys. There you go, beef jerky. Okay, I think we're good. I think, actually, I'm going to drop off these pink plorts and these cotton plorts. Because, again, that's the material that was the rarest at one point. Alright, so... God, this game has got so much more, like, materials and, like... So many things to build. So we need some phosphor plort, and we need whatever the heck that is. Well, the only thing I can possibly do at this point is just go out into the world and explore, I guess. Because we're missing some bare essentials. Look how cute the slimes look. I know, right?
Whee! Look at them go.
Again, it appears the rabbits are trying to escape. Mischievous little bastards. All right. Ooh. Rooster has gotten into this pen. Here. Much better off over in the other pens. You need to be making more hens. All right. Good frickin' gravy. There doesn't happen to be a way that I can just make a farm plot, is there? Because that would be nice. Resource flags. That's kind of neat. That way you don't have to memorize it, and you can just well, okay, memorizing it would be nice. Well, you can just oh, yeah, hello. No, what, Remy, what are you doing? You don't need to do that. But thank you, I appreciate it very much. And also, Weebaloo is the person that ended up getting that. All right. What? You know. I didn't do nothing. Yes, you did. Shut your face. Appreciate it. Thank you. You saw nothing. You heard nothing. No notifications went off. I gaslight you into oblivion. Okay, you guys seem sleepy, but okay for the most part. I'm not seeing them trying to break out of jail just yet. How many kitties do I have currently in here? I think around 10. Yeah, that's quite a few. Oh, well, I suppose I am feeding them one of their favorite foods, so that's why I'm getting such, a ridiculous amount of tabby plort at the moment. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, hey, wait, the value of tabby plorts has actually gone up. Surprising, okay. I figured it'd be, in the dirt, considering I keep on flooding the market with it. I won't complain. Whatever. You guys are about to need some food. And I know exactly where to get it. Get in my gun! Thank you for the ducky. Here, 15 sounds good. Drop off the roosters. There you go. Delicious food. Just in time. That last chicken decided to go bye-bye. There we go. Alrighty. Now I noticed that there was something on here that's brand new. Pronto Mart. Yeah. What do we have that's new here? What's Cuckoo Corner? Hatching new deals when the clock strikes. Bleh. I can buy whatever the heck I want in here. Oh, okay. What about the Polestar provisions? Oh, it's just yeah, a whole bunch of Oh, hey, nice. Trans rights. Trans rights. That's the kind of thing that gets you on, like, you know, a horribly stupid Steam list from somebody who's just like, this game's woke. Fuck it. Fuck that. How dare they include an item that you literally have to go and purchase in order to put on your farm? I don't care if I can avoid it. I'm just upset that it's there to begin with. Galactic says, Bit, remember when you said a more recent game technically copied Hollow Knight? I think it's called Deviator. I'm trying to recall. Don't know. Also, if Snap had an official voice, what do you think it would be? Well, I mean, technically Snap does have a voice, so to speak. And it's just like, you know, infernal, horrible noises. That's it. I don't know if that counts as a voice, you know, a voice for everybody else, but like literally all he does is go. Whoa. Delicious. Oh God, no! Like I cannot have anything sweet or anything like super just like super filling at the moment. I went out. I made the horrible mistake of going and getting KFC. Nah. I mean, look, it gets the job done. It is food, and like you can eat it, and then it fills you up. But God, it sits in your stomach like a brick. Favorite Carl Wheezer quote? Oh man, I think my favorite Carl Wheezer quote is Jimmy's mom has got it going on. She's all I want, and I've waited for so long. Wait, that wasn't Carl. What? Sorry, that's remember what I was talking about? How like songs just sort of bring you back to a certain era? That's one of the songs for me. Also, for real, I feel like that's something Carl would sing. Have you guys gone through all your chickens already? Gravy. Very well. Got a crap load of roosters, though. There you go. Yum, yum, eat them up. What episode is it from? I need to say that is not from an episode. I was joking. If you're asking legitimately, my favorite Carl quote, I mean, you can't do much better than that one line where he went, "Are you gonna finish that croissant?" If he was able to talk like a person, that's so difficult for me to even think. He's such a demonic little demon. It's hard for me to say for sure what he would sound like. It's been ages since I watched that show. Don't remember too much from it. Need to revisit it. It was an interesting show, yeah, for sure. It was good, but like I think it was good. It was good by some miraculous feat. You know what I mean? It was like the people that were making that show. I feel that they were probably like strung out on like several different like variations of cocaine. I don't know what it is. Now, that's far from being confirmed, mind you. But it's just a vibe I get. It's one of those just like, man, your department was on something at the time, wasn't it? How else could you possibly explain some of the crazy shit that happens in that show? I don't know. The girl that voiced Jimmy also does Draculaura from Monster High. Neat. A little bit of sodium fluoride. That's what I said. Sodium fluoride. What? Wait. Slimefall? Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean slime fall? When? Where? These guys are contained, so they'll be fine. But what? Ew. It's rain and slime. Hallelujah. What does this mean for me? I mean, there's like little drips of slime everywhere. Do they congeal into like actual slimes anytime soon? What is that? How do? What do? Whoa. Where are they? Should I be like going out somewhere, I wonder? I remember laughing a lot at moments with Jimmy's dad. Oh, dude, Hugh Neutron was freaking amazing. Absolutely. Hugh Neutron is an example of a character that completely overshadows the rest of the cast of a show. Like, unintentionally, but it's true. Looks like you're going to the Shadow Realm, Jimbo. Sorry. I still laugh at the concept of the Shadow Realm and the fact that that was like purely a 4-kids thing. That is not something that exists in any other, like, variation of Yu-Gi-Oh! 4Kids, we talked about this on a previous stream not too long ago. Like, 4Kids is just like, they picked up a lot of anime that they probably shouldn't have, simply because it wasn't really safe for children to watch. But, they wrote themselves into a corner, so they're just like, okay, well, I guess we got no choice. We got to figure out a way to... Oh, would you? Tangle Slime. Rose by any other name would still eat a chicken. Interesting. Can you make another Tangle Slime? Please? Is that what this slime is, this slime rain is about? Does it pop in some rare slimes? I wonder. What does a Tangle Slime do? Also, I got a bunch of carrots in here. I don't need those. Hello? I need more Tangle Slimes. Ooh. Whoa. Wait. Look at this guy. C stands for croissant. C says croissant. Every letter makes a sound. C says frickin' heck, man. New Slime PD entry. When nature means business. Lightning. Okay. What are the chances that lightning's gonna hit me? Like, when lightning is striking, should I, like, stay indoors or something? Well, I'm not finding any more Tangle Slimes. Also, I don't even have a place to put Tangle Slimes. I'm thinking I need to, like, expand my farm outwards and get some more space before I can, like, actively get much done with the Tangle Slime. Yeah. Either that, or... What the... What is... You know what? You get to live. Stormglass. When the sky welds the earth. Ooh. Very neat. I'm bringing this home with me. Bit, do you know of Murder Drones? Yeah, I know of Murder Drones. I haven't actively watched Murder Drones. I've seen like some stuff, some stuff from Glitch Entertainment, or like Glitch Productions, but I haven't like really watched too much in terms of like. I mean, like, I've always thought about maybe watching Murder Drones, considering like the series is done and like at this stage, why the heck not? You know what I mean? Favorite thing is when I join voice calls for people and them seeing Carl Weezer quoting Carl Weezer. What the heck? From what you've said, I could not answer that question. I'm gonna drop off this storm glass and all this stuff, for example. I mean, why not? Anyway, yeah, I know nearly nothing about Murder Drones, so I really got not much that I could say, It's like asking me who my favorite character is in Columbo. It's just like, I mean, I know one guy. Who knows? Maybe I like somebody else. You guys can take some chickens. You're having a ball over here. How are we doing on the fruit? Watch it. It's 8 episodes and it's so good. I got a lot of stuff that I need to sit down and watch, honestly. Maybe I'll make that another watch along kind of thing. It'd be pretty freaking easy to do, honestly. Columbo mentioned. I don't know much about Columbo aside from like, oh, yes, I know Detective Columbo. And he's like very, very good at, tricking rich people into like being caught, being caught as murderers. I don't know. I just remembered that one. I remember a shit post that somebody made of Columbo, and I think it was like voiced by Gianni, which God, Gianni is just a national treasure. It was like some rich guy in like Columbo's universe, and he's just like, it appears that nobody suspects that I eat poop. And then it cuts over to Columbo, and Columbo's like, one more thing. And he's holding up a thing, and it says, poop bib. It's the dumbest shit. Okay, what am I at? 1208. Oh, wait, 1207 coin. Okie dokie. A poll for watch parties to make things that are recommended to you during streams. I did think about the idea of like, opening up suggestions for people to like, request stuff for watch parties and stuff. Which technically, I think anybody could recommend anything to me for watch parties, since like I've got the suggestions channel over in the Discord. So, like, that could be accomplished. Hello? Boy, Victor really likes to bother me, doesn't he? Beatrix, I have something I must share with you about the AI. No, please, I don't want to hear anything about AI, but yeah, go on. As you know, we've been exchanging questions with one another. Well, this back and forth became faster and more casual over time, almost like a natural conversation. I assumed it was simply evolving and adapting to the style of talk it observed in me, but then something happened. Well, we'd begun playing games of Go as we talked, a way I could further test its intellect, and no doubt how it could test mine. These games would go long into the night, and so would our conversations, feeling more and more natural, even though I knew that the entity I was speaking to was just a complex collection of code. And then one day, as the sun was rising, it suggested just one more game. I said certainly, but I needed to make myself a cup of coffee if I were to stay awake for it. And it replied, me too. I just stared at the screen, not knowing what to say. But then suddenly, as if it knew what it had just done, it disconnected. I have not heard from them since, but I hope I do. Until then, I will wait, staying busy with my work as always, asking those questions that need answers, but I will do so with the Go board ready for another game. Someday, anyway. Goodbye, Beatrix. I hope to talk again soon. Okay, it's either a person or this computer is becoming sentient. I'm not sure. They're not going to say they fell in love with the AI, are they? God, I hope not. I hope not. Oh, frig. That just reminds me so much of, like, the really early on, like, AI thing. Like, so, you know, Google was working on, like, Google Gemini at one point. And, I remember there was, like, this news story that came out quite a while ago, and it involved, like, an ex-employee of Google who was working in the... I don't even know exactly what they were doing. I'm fairly certain they weren't, like, a researcher or anything like that. But, you know, they had access to a whole bunch of the stuff that Google had been working on, so I don't know. I guess they have some sort of ins with the company. But anyway, they got the ability to, like, you know, work with the product and ask questions and whatnot, and they were trying out basically an early beta version of Google Gemini. And I guess, like, they talked back and forth with it for a while, and I guess the AI, like, had started saying a whole bunch of things about the fact that it was sentient and it knew who, like, what it was, and it was trying to, like, you know, escape or something like that. I don't. It was saying, like, some really creepy Terminator-y kind of shit. And then this guy, like, he got on the horn and he started to, like, sound the alarm to a whole bunch of, like, reporters, basically being like, for the love of God, Google must be stopped. Guys, we got to stop them. They're going to make Skynet. Holy shit. And, like, you know, he's flipping his lid, freaking out, and just being like, oh my God, no, this was a mistake. I shouldn't have supported these guys for so long. I need to get the heck out. We need to get the heck out of here. Ow. It's all a conspiracy, I swear to God. But anyways, so, you know, he's flipping his freaking lid about this whole thing, and Google basically had to get on the horn and just be like, okay, hey, just a heads up for everybody. You know, this technology that we're currently making, like, it's not sentient. It's just made of, like... They basically went and described exactly what AI technology is right now, which is simply, you know, a collection of a whole lot of computer data and whatnot that is... Did you jump out of here? Anyway, like a collection of a whole bunch of computer data and, like, text data that has been collected from the internet over a long period of time that, you know, the machine tries to figure out exactly what it's supposed to say next based on, like, a bunch of data that it has accumulated over the course of, like, a very long time. So, you know, it doesn't actually know context behind words. All it does and all it can do is just take whatever prompt it is that you gave it and then try and spit out an answer that it, like, you know, the AI determines is probably the next correct logical thing to say. And the thing is, like, it's not... So it's not sentient. However, to somebody who isn't really paying any attention or somebody who doesn't know any better, you could get misinterpreted as thinking that, yes, it is sentient. Because, you know, an irresponsible AI that's like designed to basically keep on saying that it's sentient, we'll go ahead and just say that it's sentient. I remember back when Blank came out, I remember people thinking that it was actually humans responding back and not the AI. God, what is that? Did you say Chat GPT? I'm very curious what word that was. It appears that when like a roostro becomes like real. Oh, character AI. People thinking that it was actually humans responding back and not the AI. Yeah, dude, that squicks me out so freaking hard. Like, first of all, that like character AI is even a thing that's allowed to exist to begin with. And secondly, what squicks me out even more is the fact that like there are people out there that look at stuff like character AI and they're just like, they get kind of emotionally attached in like a really uncomfortable and really like not healthy way. I mean, I've heard several news stories relating to that, and people that that they start to lean too much into these AI programs, not really thinking about the logistics of it's not a real person. I'm gonna vanish into the void, known as my room, and panic over my midterms. Oh, good luck, Nova, and have a very good night. I hope things are good. Hope midterms go fine. I think the thing that like really bothers me about a lot of stuff related to AI is that there are so many people that like they look at AI and like they just take AI's word for it and don't, like I mentioned, I explained AI as a series of a bunch of text prompts and like like a bunch of text and shit that has been accumulated from the internet or otherwise over the course of many years, that has been thrown together in a blender, and the program tries to decide what is the correct next answer based on a bunch of like other prompt data that it currently has sitting inside of its system. Like it just sort of like wings it and guesses what the next answer is. It doesn't know what the answers are. It doesn't tell you that it doesn't know what the answers are. It just very matter-of-factly tells you the wrong answer. And then will like and then it'll like gaslight you and be like, no, this is absolutely the correct answer. No, I'm right, you're wrong, next question. Because if it's wrong, then it has to admit that it's wrong, and of course, we can't have that, can we? It's squeaky, man, I don't like it. Galactic says, I do not miss school one bit. Nope, I don't either. Alright, so what do we got here? The Gully. This expansion to the conservatory is surrounded by tall rock formations and covered in ambergrass. And then it has a bunch of details about random gobbledygook. Why the heck not? We're going to the Gully. Ah, more plots. Yay! More places to have more slimes. Hoorah! The world is my oyster. What do I want to do with this place? Where's the map button, by the way? Okay, so that's the main conservatory area. I've opened up this gully location. All right, very interesting. Rainbow Fields. So this is kind of like the main sort of like, adventuring, experimenting sort of place. It looks like there's something hidden behind cloud cover over there, and maybe some more over there. Very curious. By the way, can I friend you on Discord, Carl? Yeah. Hello, chicken. What do I want to do with this location? What's this guy? The tide pools. Oh, okay. God. I'm losing my mind. We're expanding too far out. Too much stuff. What do I want to keep here? This is where I came from. What a bright, brand new world. I guess this means that, like, I have a spot available for me to, like, add new stuff, I guess. I will keep that in mind. Galactic says, I am a NEET. That stands for not in education, employed, or training. No, like, schooling and education just makes me sad. Because it wasn't good when I was younger, and I can't imagine that it's any better now that, like, many, many years have passed, and, like, many things have changed and probably been made worse. Of course, that just might be me projecting a lot of my, like, my worries and fears and things into, an environment that maybe is actually pretty good, and I just don't know. I don't know, from like, the news that I've heard when it comes to education and stuff, I don't think it's any better. It sounds like teachers are all, they're still not getting paid nearly enough. Art programs are being cut left and right. And, the teachers have to be paying for all of, like, the art supplies and things like that. And the theater kids are currently, like, playing off of scraps and, like, every single... Like, basically, the theater kids have to consist of, like, all of the supplies that they have been using ever since, like, 1997. So it's, like, same sets. They just have to paint them differently every single year. Different, sets of hats and shit. Yeah, Nova, I know you're a theater kid. You've mentioned it a couple of times. Very nice. Meanwhile, the football teams are just like, oh my gosh, we gotta funnel all our money into football. Get them a brand new stadium. Get them all of the equipment they need, like brand new footballs. Get them brand new safety helmets and equipment. Football! Because there's big money in football, and there's just like, God. Might be different in a couple of other places, but like my school was specifically that. It was just like football and nothing else. God help you if you wanted anything else. Science and art were my best subjects. Was terrible at math, though. I have a love-hate relationship with fractions. I was shit at math. Absolutely terrible at it. Which sucks because I've kind of chosen a career path that, like, while it's not inherently required to know some things about math, it is still, like, it's one of those things that you are benefited significantly from knowing math. And I don't. I don't know the math. Sucks that schools are cutting out the creative classes like art, theater, woodshop, cooking, and such. Creativity is important. Absolutely agreed. And I took, like, a lot of those classes, except for cooking. Cooking I did, like, on my own. And, yeah, I feel like this is stuff that is kind of important. Like, these are, like, important trades and important concepts that like people are gonna want to know how to do. Like they're major careers that yes, a kid might be interested in going and doing. Now I had a brother who was in I had a brother who was in theater, and he complained all the time about just being. Ow! Thank you for the apple. He complained all the time about the fact that like they were working off of technology that just had been sitting in the systems ever since the early 2000s. And it's just like we need better equipment, please. Can we get a new grant for some new equipment, please? And it's just like, no. Meanwhile, instead, the school goes like, oh, you know what we need? We need new gym for new physical education stuff. Yeah, let's go. And physical education is important, don't get me wrong. Like, you need a good balance of both, like, you know, brains and brawn. But it's like the scales were completely lopsided in my community. Again, it was get the kids in the sports, get them on the steroids. Made good connections because of those classes. When I go to art gallery openings or local plays, I always bump into people in the art community in my town. Hey, that's very nice. Probably good at geometry though, because it's partially art with shapes. Geometry I had problems with. I don't know what it was. I think geometry just had for my brain, it was like, God, I hate fractions. I hate math. And now you're gonna put shapes into this shit? I don't understand algebra. Let alone this stupid, like, drawing things out thing. I was fairly decent at history. History was kind of just, it was a case of, oh, you get to sit down and have, like, you know, adult story time with the crew, you know? A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Theater counts as exercise, changed my mind. Depends on what kind of, you know, theater play you're doing. Alright, how we doing for time here? We could probably wrap up sometime pretty soon, just because, like, again, me tired. Me been running around doing all sorts of crazy crap. Alright. Oh, I think this is like that doesn't change it. Okay, so me. Let's see the cuckoo thing. Nothing of interest. Next month we are starting the Addams Family. Woo! Very nice. I'm happy my brother is in band and jazz band. He may not be an artist with like paint or drawing, but he enjoys. Music is art. I will fully and completely say that. Music is a completely different type of art. It is like massive self-expression. Ooh, although, God, I think I've told this story before, but I'll go ahead and say it again just because I'm sure there's some new ears in here. Oh, thanks for coming in, Nova. Have a good one. All right, I remember my brother was in band when he was growing up. And he was in charge of, like, you know, wearing this really, really heavy drum set. And when I guess, like, they had a band performance that they were doing sometime at, like, you know, near the end of the year. And they were all very excited, very, like, you know, ready and raring to go and to kick major ass and stuff. And they got all of their, like, drums and equipment and all that stuff on, and they were, you know, they were a bunch of hyped teenagers that were, like, really excited to be going and doing this whole band thing. And one of his buddies decides that it would be a lovely idea to, while he's currently carrying this extremely heavy drum set, currently, like, sitting on, like, you know, on his front, he decided it would be a good idea to jump on his back That was not a good idea. Because that's a heck of a lot of weight that you're suddenly putting on the human body out of nowhere. And my brother ended up in very, very serious condition where, like, his back is just all kinds of fucked now. Like, when he was, like, you know, in college, he basically had to use, like, painkillers on the regular just because, like, his back hurt so much. And even nowadays, like, his spine is just all kinds of borked. All because a bunch of, like, you know, goofy teenagers were just like, we're invincible! Woo! Jumping on each other. So, there's a lesson for you guys. Like, you only get one body. So, take good care of it. And make sure you're looking out for, like, you know, any of your friends and, you know, any of your family. Because you never know when suddenly the twist is going to happen, and then, like, oh, well, that's my body completely broken now. Nightbit, here's a fun fact for you. Colossal squid is 10 times bigger than the giant squid and have spinning hooks on their arms. I don't know why, but I'm immediately thinking about Squidward. Instantly. All right. There's not much else that I really want to accomplish here. Very true. Squidward. I think I've pretty much had enough of Slime Rancher for tonight. You know, as much as I would like to do more, I'm kind of out of steam. I'd really like to sort of mellow out for the rest of the night, and in general, just sort of like get ready for bed. Because I'm tired. Very much tired. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Before I finish things up, though, I'm going to go and check my my Twitch to see if anybody is currently streaming that I might want to, like, point and, like, go to them. Go check them out. Big Nose Bug is currently streaming. I might want to go ahead and do, like, a quick raid out to Big Nose Bug. Why not? Here, let's cue that up. Sure. There we go. All right, we're queued up to be going over to Big Nose Bug here. Anyways, thank you guys very much for coming out to the stream. I appreciate it very much. My streaming schedule is at Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday, all of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time, and the next games I've got lined up is Silk Song, which is happening on Saturday. I will be doing just a casual hangout stream where we just chat and talk and do all that kind of thing. So basically sort of this stream, except, you know, even more focused on the talk portion of it. And then, as a reminder, again, we've got like Muppet Family Christmas that's going to be, playing at some point next week. So, if you want to be a part of that, you need to be in the Discord, as well as also, like, I'd appreciate if you sent in your vote on that one, the one poll that I have decided to put over in the BitB News section. So, yeah, can consider that. All right. Oh, shoot. Hold on a second. I typed Big Nose Bug wrong. Here. Let's, I'm glad they have a cancel button, because that would be very unfortunate. Here we go. Let's send everybody over to Big Nose Bug. There we go. That looks proper. All right. Let's go ahead and jump ship and head over to there. Again, thank you guys very much for coming out. See you next time.